I'm here with John Willis. He does special operations equipment. Awesome business in this warehouse. He lives here too, and we just wrapped up Self-Reliance Festival. Why don't you introduce yourself real quick and share what the Self-Reliance Festival is all about.
So, John Willis, Special Operations Equipment, and selfishly, the Self-Reliance Festival is about bringing a bunch of people here that I wanted to meet. and luckily it drew a bunch of other people, like-minded people, and it's just about living the life you want if times get tough or even if they don't, really. It's just about how to do what you want to do and not do the things you don't want to do. I think that works.
Life design, yeah. You're always short to the point. So, okay, so we just wrapped up an event with all sorts of incredible speakers, all sorts of doers, people that get shit done. And the first thing I noticed coming out here was like, holy shit, this is one hell of a property called a compound. It very much is the essence of a compound. So if you could show us some of the food production systems, we'll do a walk around the property. Cool. And then I'd love to learn more about the business that makes all this possible.
So every tree on here produces something. These are all fruit trees that we installed. You've got 50 Cornish cross meat birds coming up here. You've got about 20 rabbits in each of these tractors on the grass. More importantly than meat production with the rabbits is that they produce manure, and we use them to mow down these weeds and fertilize all this grass so that it comes back better. There's several pens up here. We're pulling about 120 eggs a day. We've got ducks. We've always got rabbit production. We've put 3 ponds on the property. We just put swales up top for fodder trees in case we ever need to use that production to feed ever gets difficult to get. So just kind of covering our bases, have the systems in place should we ever need them, and if we don't, make compost with it.
Wow. Is that a pond there on the other side of the little hill?
Yes, on the other side of the hill.
So you built all that, you moved all that earth around?
Well, my guys did. Okay. Luckily I have people.
Cool, yeah, and we'll get to the business part that helps make all that possible.
We bought this property 6 years ago. It was a gravel pit. None of this was here. Nothing grew here other than briars, blackberry.
Wow. And you bought the property, that warehouse was there.
Yeah, so
you said it was like a bar?
So it was a bar and grill. It had been stripped out. There was no copper. There was no electrical, no piping, nothing in it. We bought basically a tent. And then we built it out. The intention never was to put the company here. We just bought the property so the kids could ride dirt bikes, we could have bonfires and shoot bows, right?
You grew up in Tennessee, or where are you from?
No, I moved from San Diego 15 years ago.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
And you were already doing the special operations equipment then?
Yes, yeah.
And was it wildly successful then?
It was successful. The internet, or at least social media, wasn't around in that manner. So scaling became very easy with social media.
You got your own fuel there? Is that gasoline you keep in there?
Yeah, that's diesel's over here.
Wow. Right on. All right. What's in those little silos? You got stuff going on there?
Nobody's got a farm. He's getting rid of them. I'm like, I'll
got room.
Yeah. So
and what do you got? 10 acres here?
10.
10 acres. Nice. All right. So a bunch of people were here. We had like 500 people here. Some folks were camping over here. You got some of this forest too? Sweet.
Yep. All these trees are ours.
Wow.
Yep. The big pond's out here.
That's where people were camping over here.
That pond.
So this was nothing but rock and the building.
Yeah, this back here kind of looked like this. All of that up front was literally a gravel pit. There was tractors and excavators in there pulling out gravel. My goal right now is basically, we do these events every 4 months, and that means that my last employee leaves at 6:30 every day. So I have 6:30 until 9 o'clock when I do a live feed every night. I have those hours to do something every day that looks different, that will compound and look vastly different before we have another event.
Wow. And so this is the pond y'all built. Jack said it was like 60 feet deep.
It is. It's 65 feet deep. It's
Damn.
a sheer drop off of the dam.
Oh my God.
There's a little bit of beach entrance over here, but it didn't start as a pond. It's water catchment. So spout off of the building through individual pipes that terminate in the pond.
Wow.
So my concern was if we lose water, we're on city water here. If we lose water, we could just bail water if we had to, worst case scenario.
Get you that industrial sized Berkey.
Yeah, yeah.
You got fish in here?
We've put some fish in here. More fish showed up than we've put in here.
Wow. it just goes to show, like, so did you vision all this out, or are you just kind of doing it as you go?
Yeah, I did not, man. I watched social media. When we were doing the build out on the building, we were super excited when the contractors would shoot a live video, and people watching would go, hey, you should do a spiral staircase. Hey, you should do a zip line. Hey, you should do bubble tube. So we're like, hey, I don't know, that sounds pretty good. I guess I do want an airplane wing table. So we built an office that would hold an airplane wing table.
Wow.
So it just kind of like fed on the energy and just put it in place, and it got crazier and crazier, and people wanted to watch it. And now we've kind of taken it in a different direction, and it's all been outdoors, and it draws a totally different crowd. And I just feel like if I do good things that I believe in, the right people will show up and want to be a part of that.
That's right. Just before we started this, a woman was asking, like, what should I do about putting my thing on to save property taxes or whatever? And a common theme with a lot of folks in the preparedness community is fear. They're motivated out of fear. It seems like you're operating on a different wavelength.
Okay, so what if the actual fear, right? I'm 50 years old. Every year there's been something, every month there's been something that's going to destroy me or kill me, right? So what if that is by design to keep you on the system and to keep you operating out of fear? So if we operate out of fear, it's that fight or flight, right? It's that cortisol. So we never get fully rested and we never have full clarity of brain function. So what if we would we know any of these things were happening if we turned the social media off?
Yeah. And
would we have a lot more time to do things that we believe in?
To do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so maybe it really is by design.
Right on.
They no longer matter because we no longer mind them.
That's right. Cool. It's all about what you choose to focus on.
For sure.
All right, so you got some more food production systems here. While we're walking over there, obviously didn't do this yourself, so can you tell me the role that what is your business, and how does that empower you to bring in all the manpower and the money to make this happen?
So Special Operations Equipment is my business. We build nylon tactical gear originally for SEALs and SF units. That's a byproduct. Individual citizens want to buy that stuff because they used it. That was kind of the start. Nowadays, they want to get it because we're known to make the best. And we don't make a lot of it. We can only produce so much. Everything we sell moves immediately. And it's kind of the scarcity mindset. Strongest word in sales is no. And people just look at that all the time and they want that stuff. So that, I have built everything else, every other aspect of what I like to do into my business. We have four-wheelers. We build products for four-wheelers. We have products and show how they can be used on the side-by-sides. Toyota trucks, we show and shoot a lot of videos with Toyota trucks. Toyota shares our social media. We get 2.5 million views on our videos because of it. So water production, aqua production, food production, we feed all of our employees that want to eat breakfast. We feed them every breakfast and lunch. None of our employees buy eggs, nor have they for the last 5 years probably. So it's just everything I do has something, and we have built that all into our social media platforms and just show it, and they have an interest in it. So I do a live feed every night at 9 o'clock on YouTube. It'll go 30 minutes, it'll go 2 hours. We talk about whatever whoever shows up wants to talk about.
Wow, I love it. So the business, I did a talk earlier and was saying, don't build a business around your life.
Yes.
Don't build your life around your job. And it sounds like your business is just designed to enhance your life completely.
So I stopped doing things that I didn't like to do in business. And I was willing to do what I like to do for free a long time before I figured out how to monetize it. So once we can monetize it, it just gets that much easier.
Yeah, and then it turns into this self-fulfilling thing.
I worked several part-time jobs in order to be able to sew and build gear. That was my hobby, and now I do that full-time.
Wow. And you said something like you're building the business so you don't have to run the business, so you could just live. Sounds like you're sinking a lot of the profits into these systems.
Yeah. Well, they produce, and we build content off of it, and it's continually.
Is it a marketing expense?
Yes. Yes.
Love it.
I have a good accountant. I have a good tax lawyer.
I love that.
But we incorporated all that in there. That's really what
it's all part of the business.
Yeah.
All right, cool. You want to show us inside your factory here? Thanks for welcoming us all into your home and your business here. A lot of people are like scrambling to start from square one. It sounds like you're just plowing forward.
Well, it's just what we've done. I mean, it's what we've done all of these years.
I think people need to get out of their head, really.
But fear of failure or what about this? I think that's more of an excuse not to start. They want to interject in the conversation because they kind of want to put their toe in there and see if they like that water, but they don't want to jump in, right? If you burn those boats, but I'm thinking about quitting my job. Well, if you go and light some shit on fire on your boss's desk, you're probably going to lose that job, right? You're going to have no other option than to make that backup work. But as long as you have that other fallback, you're never going to commit 100% to what you could do.
Yep. Right on. All right, show us around. This is some of your gear.
We make nylon tactical gear. Basically, we originally built gear for good guys that killed bad guys. If there was dudes killing dudes on CNN, our gear was on those warriors. Nowadays, we do a lot of the same stuff, but we also, sewing is sewing. So we figured out how to, rather than sell stuff to killers, how to sell stuff to everybody. So we make a tool bag that the military uses. We make the same tool bag and we can market it to guys that own Toyotas, own Jeeps, own Razors, own whatever. It's just all marketing and what we show in the marketing. And that's how we do it. It's the exact same product, we just show it in a different application.
Cool. Right on. All right, and how many people do you employ?
20 on a good day. I need 40, and we just don't. I own 52 sewing machines. I'm lucky if 12 sewing machines run every day.
So you have room to scale. It's just hard.
Absolutely. We live in impoverished county, lack of bodies. We could totally scale if we relocate. I'm not interested in relocating.
All right, before we let you go, one thing I could tell unique about you is that the business is the engine for everything, it seems, right? Like it's the engine for the preparedness.
So it is. It allows everything to happen. But we really spent the last 2 years setting ourselves up, setting the property up, setting up different things that we're doing so that if the business failed, could we still employ our people and could we still have revenue coming in? We bought a wood processor. We've put a lot of things in where it'll be a lot more work for sure, but if shipping shut down tomorrow, for instance, there's a virus and nothing can leave the state. How do we still pay our bills and how do we still employ our people? Well, it's going to be hard, right? We're going to go take wood cuts off that they've already cut out of all these when they've clear cut. We're going to take that back. We're going to saw cut it. We're going to split it into firewood. We're going to sell chicken eggs. We're going to sell rabbits. Whatever it is we have to do. We're going to find a niche and we're going to provide a service that people don't want to do, can't do, or won't do. And we're going to monetize, trade, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's like you have the skills. It doesn't matter what the trade is or the product or whatever. You have that foundational knowledge and you believe in yourself and you got the people to get it done. So
that's
pretty
right.
Bulletproof.
If you do good things, people are going to show up to want to do them with you.
Right on. All right, so let's say there's somebody watching this video, they're super empowered and inspired, they would love to create this in their backyard. What's one bit of advice you would give them on where to start?
Take what you love to do and figure out how to monetize that, and we can have that conversation one-on-one any night on the live feed, and I'm on literally every social media platform, special operations included.
Cool. All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.